Hi, my name is Sher. I'm the president and founder of Dealer eTraining. I'd like to speak with you a little bit about OEM certification inside your dealership. I'm talking about all those crazy tests that your manufacturer requires you to take so that you can get spin pay, bonus pay. The dealership has its validation. The dealership passes all requirements that are needed to fulfill their goals for the year. And it's kind of interesting. I walk into dealerships and I hear managers, yelling at their salespeople. I need you to take all your tests. You're only 60% certified. We have to be at 100 by the end of the month. Or you have a couple days to do it. Let's get on it. And listen, I'm going to be upfront with you. These tests, they're a little bit of a pain. I can tell you that when I was selling Hondas, I first started selling Hondas in 2003, and I got a job and I was going through training, and for instance with Honda you have the interactive network. I got logged in there. Before I started my job actually selling cars after training, I took a week off. I went on vacation, I had to go see my family, and I took my work with me. What I did was every night after I had fun or whatever, I would go on the computer and I would literally take a test. And what I would do is I would take the test. I was required to get an 80 on the test. Now, I would take a test, I would get less than 80, but I would keep the answers. So I would write down the answers on a piece of paper on a notebook, and I would write down the question, I would write down the answer, and then if I got the answer wrong, when I looked at it, I would scratch it off. The answer that was right, I would write it down so that in the future, when I take the test again in 5 minutes to retake it, I'm going to have the answer. And so what that does is, that actually creates a lot of great muscle memory and a lot of great product knowledge. But you don't take it as seriously when you're actually doing it because it's hard work. But what happens is I would get a 60 on a test. But now I remember that some of these answers were right, and on the very next try, I would take that test again and I would answer the questions already that were right, and the ones that were wrong, I knew which answer not to use. Process of elimination, basically. And so what I would do with that is eventually I would get one right. So I would have 3 out of 4 chances to get it right. If I got it wrong, now I scratch it off, I do it again, 2 out of 4 chances to get it right. Eventually you get it right. And so, yeah, you take a test 2 or 3 times, but here's the beauty of it. The product knowledge that you learn about your cars is amazing. It's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing how 2 weeks after actually taking these tests, I would be on the showroom grabbing up, selling cars, and I would be able to answer customer questions, and I would actually be able to provide the perfect feature and benefit explanation during my road to the sale process, simply because I remember messing up that question on the test. Let's face it, not all car salesmen are technologically advanced. That's why we have technicians and mechanics in the dealership, because it's their job to fix the car. It's our job to sell the car, but it's also our job to understand what we're selling so that we're more proficient and we know what's going on. So my recommendation to you is don't slack off on these tests. Take them seriously. Don't just give a senior veteran salesperson $50 or buy him lunch and say, here, take my test for me. A lot of dealerships are doing that. And in all seriousness, you're only cheating yourself. I had a teacher in 11th grade who would basically, he taught me the process of writing something down and then writing it over again, and I utilized that obviously in this test, but he always said to me, you're not cheating me, you're cheating yourself. So don't cheat yourself, because you're trying to be a professional automotive sales professional. And if you're going to be professional, you have to do things right. Like, don't slack off, get the job done, and you're going to be successful. And it's going to be amazing to see how much product knowledge you're actually going to have. So that's my rant for the day. Thank you very much. If you have any questions and you want some advice on how to properly become OEM certified within your brand, please reach out to me. I'm more than happy to help.